Is this a story that we're going to be reading about in the next couple of days? Naturally, it concerns the ex-royals Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, but it just goes to show exactly how you can spin a story into something more suitable about what you're marketing yourself to be. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to see you today. Hope you're all keeping well. By the way, thank you for your kind comments about the recent woke story about the hand sanitizers and the masks. I mean, yeah, it's incredible, isn't it, what you can find out in the Freedom of Information Act letters. I mean, you know, listen, we all have to be careful. We still all have to be incredibly cautious. But nonetheless, is there nobody cheaper that could hand out these things? More importantly, what about volunteers? I'm sure people would like to get involved. But as ever, as we often say here on the show, when it's not your money, it's not really your concern, is it? That's what I often think with these big companies, and the NHS is no different. Still looking for that 30 million that Captain Tom Moore raised. Wonderful man. Where did the money go? That's what I'd like to know. Back as ever though to your breaking royal story of the day. This story is fascinating because as we saw when all of the, as they sort of called them for a while, Fab Four popped out of cars out at Windsor Castle to look at the wonderful floral tributes to our late monarch at Windsor. A lot of people were stunned, including me, you know, because we didn't really know much about it. We didn't know why it was happening, but of course it was nice to see people together. You know, that's what I thought. Good and bad, but there was no denying that, you know, the body language was pretty grim, wasn't it? You know, Catherine never once looked at Meghan. Meghan desperately tried to make some eye contact, not happening. William and Harry really not connecting at all, you know, but all there for the good of one lady of 70 years on the throne, the wonderful late monarch. Interesting to note though now what's coming out of Montecito from a very good source, and as ever we have to say allegedly, because according to that good source, yes, Meghan apparently was, shall we say, really frightened to come out and meet the crowds, but as I told you before, felt validated. But now it's developed because she felt that there was an opportunity there to connect, and seemingly, according to that good source, and as ever, again, allegedly, Catherine and William seemingly didn't want to reach out and make that effort. Isn't it strange with people how they spin it back, you know? They can be the baddies, you know, they can do all the negative stuff, but seemingly when they've decided that they want to be friends again, and I'm sure we've all had friends like this, haven't we? Done the bad thing on you, and then they say, well, you just let me down, or you don't call anymore. This is that sort of situation. As I say, according to that good source, Meghan and Harry were open to the opportunity of further dialogue and discussion. You and me, we call it a chat over a cup of tea and a biscuit. That's what royals call it. But seemingly it wasn't on the table, and Meghan apparently was left absolutely, well, just stunned. Didn't understand why it wasn't happening. More importantly, she went back, of course, to the United States. No further forward, no reconnection, of course, with Catherine, who claims that she, you know, according to Meghan, Meghan claims that they once shared a very close bond. Now, many might say, of course, that the things you said on international television will have broken that bond. But ever in the world of Harry and Meghan, perhaps it hasn't quite got through to them both yet. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.